Hi, guys. Welcome to the Karen Carrington Show. My name is Karen Carrington, and I am your host. I'm a talk show host, I'm an author, I'm a mental health advocate, I'm a certified personal development trainer, and I am your host for today. For those of you who may not know, the Karen Carrington Show launched back in 2017. It's a safe, judgment free zone where all walks of life have a voice. I created the Karen Carrington Show because I wanted everyone to have a place where they can come and share their stories, their ups, their downs, the pain, heartbreak, overcoming. And I'm a firm believer that revealing is healing. One thing we all have in common is we have a story. So that being said, we're here for season 9. I'm so super excited for season 9. Season 9 is special to me. I mean, they're all special. Season 9 is extremely special to me because I do understand with everything going on, there needs to be a place where we could all come together and feel like we're not alone, right? And so season 9 with my amazing guest, my soul sister, my friend, my everything, Casey Ramsaran, who is a Reiki master. She's a transformational coach. She is going to be sharing her journey all through season 9. It's an amazing series, and I can't wait to get started. So that being said, Casey, are you here with me today?
I am.
I always love seeing your beautiful face. I love it. It makes my day so awesome. Speaking of awesome, can you tell my viewers exactly who you are, what you're all about, and how awesome you are?
Yeah. So I mean, you've kind of already, touched on that for me as far as being a transformational coach and a Reiki master. So, the only thing that I would add to that is really and truly, what I do is I hold space for people. I'm not a healer. I hold space for people to heal themselves. That's what I do. And I do it in a way, a lot of clients come when they're really ready to do that inward journey with themselves. And so part of my job is to hold space for them in that way, through that intuitive side and that gift, I want to say, that I have to really work with people to uncover some of those subconscious feelings that they've suppressed and buried deep down inside, and to really shine light on those things so that they can accept them and then make that part of their transformation journey and healing. So that's a bit of what it is.
And that's all about who you are. And that's why I love you in a nutshell, really, because of all the stuff that you do, all the things that you do with me and all the things that you've been doing. For how many years have you been doing this?
So I've been a transformation coach for over 10 years. The Reiki part and the healing part, that has been a part of my journey for a couple of years in going deep. But I would say, and I think everyone can say this, when you ask somebody how long they've been healing and how long they've been transforming for, forever.
Forever. I knew it. Forever.
I'm just able to hold space now. That's what it is. I'm able to hold space in a way that's not coming from sharing my opinion, because that's what we do, right? A lot of us go to people and we're like, oh yeah, give me your opinion, help me figure it out. And it's like, no. I want you to sit here and I want you to listen to yourself and hold space for yourself so that you can hear yourself. And so for me, it's just really about doing that for people in a way that they don't have to go and, talk to their family and their friends and get more confused.
Speaking of confused.
Yeah.
Last episode, for all of you who were here last episode, and we just it was amazing. We're talking about a lot of stuff. And for those of you who missed it, we're talking about Casey's journey and some confusion that you had gone through in one of your relationships. And for those of you who missed it, we're not going to go back for you, but we'll give you a little bit of an overview of what you missed. So if we could just go there a bit and recap what happened briefly and what kind of place did that lead you to?
Yeah. So, I was engaged. My fiance at that time pretty much left me a few weeks before the wedding, got on a plane, still went with the whole family and everyone else. Um, didn't have any answers. He left the country. I was on my own. And that really put me into a place where I really hit one of my lowest lows, because after being heartbroken time and time again and thinking you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone only to have that stripped from you really puts you into a space where you start to wonder, is it me? And so that really caused me to go into one of my lowest lows. And so that for me was a really dark place in my life. And I don't know if you want to go here now, because I can go there now.
Before you go there, because I know when you go places, you take like they're deep, and that's why I love you, because you have that vulnerability and that authenticity and that courage and that bravery to share. Right before you go there, you said something that really resonated with me, and that was the thought that you were going to spend the rest of your life with someone.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us do that. We put our hopes in things that we believe to be true.
Yeah.
We believe to be true. And we have this intuition that tells us not to do it. But yet we do. We still go there. In your opinion, I know it's just your opinion.
Yeah.
But is it us who is wrong to not look at the sign? Or should we have more grace for ourselves that, you know what, I just wanted to spend my life with this person. I just wanted to believe it was true. Because we beat ourselves up, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I should have seen it when he wasn't texting me back, or when I noticed he was with that other whatever, you know. Or do we give ourselves grace, or should we have known better?
I think it's a bit of both, right? Because when, and I know that people have heard this before, myself included, sometimes you'll know what's not right for you, but because you have an honest heart, or because you're a hopeful person, you so badly want to believe and hold on to something and try to fix something and try to make it work. And when you do it at that time, I think in your mind and in your head and in your feelings, you get all in your feelings, and looking at it from the lens that you're looking at it at that time, it feels like the right thing to do, even though it may not be the right thing to do. And I think we have to be so gracious with ourselves in the aftermath of doing the thing that you shouldn't have done, or pursuing the opportunity, out of desperation, whatever the situation may be. Because those are the things that are really the lessons. You have to look for the lessons, and you won't see them, right? You won't see them because at that time you're acting from a different place.
That's what I
So,
don't get. Like, I mean, I get it, but girl, like, I'm a pretty sharp woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know when something's wrong when I see it. But it's funny when we're in love, or when we want something so bad. You know what I mean? Like, when you go back and you're like, shoot, I should have known, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, and I did know. That's
That's
the
what I'm
thing. I
saying.
did know.
I'm like, I did know.
Yeah, I did know. But I am who I am. There's parts of me that will change, but there's also parts of me that I am who I am. And when it comes to love, I just choose sometimes, with these rose-colored glasses, to just see the best in everything and in everyone. And I knew, and I still followed through with it. But I have to tell you something.
Mm.
When it really boiled down to it, and I thought about this actually years and years later. And so this is how I knew that deep down inside, my intuition and my gut was in you. I didn't, even though I hit a low, I didn't actually fight for him, if that makes sense. I didn't fight. Like, when I actually stopped to think about it, I'm like, you were so heartbroken. And That made me contemplate a lot of things, including my life, and I can go there.
Yeah.
If you want me to go there, I can go there, because I feel like people need to hear this, because I know I'm not alone.
No, you do need to go there because according to the World Health Organization, every 40 seconds, someone around the globe contemplates taking their life and does take
Yeah.
their life. So
Yeah.
yes, we do need to go there. It's a reality.
Mhm.
And people may assume, oh, it's Casey. She looks like she has it all together. I mean, I too have those thoughts, suicidal ideations when I was a teenager. A
Yeah.
lot of us have. So please, this is a platform that's a safe, judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
Please share with us when that was your thought.
Yeah. And it wasn't a thought just once.
Mm.
And the first time I ever contemplated doing that was actually over heartbreak in my teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
The first thought that I ever had was around the exact same feeling that I had in this situation, which was somebody doesn't love me.
Mm.
And if they don't see me, and if I don't feel heard, and if I don't feel love, and what am I doing? Why am I here? And so, this time when it happened to me, especially because I had contemplated before, and having this kind of just pulled away from me, I said, what am I doing? Why, what's the point? What's the point? And even though, and I want to say this to you, even though there was a part of me, and I'm grateful for this, even though there was a part of me that probably wouldn't have done it, it doesn't take away from the fact that I thought about it. It doesn't take away from the fact that I contemplated it. It doesn't take away from the feeling that I had of not being worthy and not wanting to be on this planet anymore. It doesn't take away from that. And when that happened to me, I realized, and again, this was part of that journey, right? Where I said, no, you can't allow yourself to go there. And I was diagnosed with severe depression, right? I went to therapy. I was diagnosed with the depression. I contemplated ending my life more than once over not feeling accepted and loved and heard, and all of these things. And then from that, especially because I know I talked about this in our first episode,
Mm-hmm.
I've always been in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And after this happened, I honestly said, you gotta learn how to be alone. You gotta learn how to do it. And I literally moved into a house I had bought. And I said, you're gonna make yourself be alone, physically, mentally, and spiritually on some level, right? And spiritually for me mean really sitting with yourself, connecting with those demons, so to speak, that the dark parts of yourself, the parts that you don't want to confront. And it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. There were nights where I cried myself to sleep. There were nights or days where I sat on the couch and I did nothing. And then there were days where I would go out and I would try to do anything that would give me a temporary high, just so that I could forget about the pain.
Mm. And thank you for sharing that with us, because you're right. I do believe that for whatever reason why some of us may be in our depression or our anxiety or whatever we're feeling, those ideations of wanting to take our lives, it is quite common that it's due to a relationship that didn't work, that validation we didn't get, that love that we thought was going to be there forever.
Yeah.
Is there something to say for if you love yourself first? Once you love yourself first, then you wouldn't be seeking it outer. But when people hear that, they're like, oh, this self-love stuff, like, well, that doesn't replace a man in my bed, girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, we need love there too. We need
right?
love there too.
Right? Like, self-love isn't going to help me do this or help me do this, or I need, We weren't meant to be alone. Like, how do you explain that to your clients, where self-love is the foundation?
Yeah. And this was a big part for me too, because you're right. Self-love is like a thing that's out there right now. I don't want to say a thing, but it's
Yeah,
big,
but
it's
yeah.
a
A
bigger thing
concept. Yeah, yeah.
right now. And self-love is not just about, treating yourself to something and buying all these nice things. It's about loving the ugly parts of yourself, because we all have them. And where we get offended, or at least for me, where I got offended, was the parts of myself that weren't good, the parts of myself that were verbally abusive of time. I'm just going to say it. The parts of myself that was verbally abusive and that said mean things and that acted out of hate. And
to yourself or to others, or both?
Both.
Both.
Because I had moments, especially after the situation, where I would look at myself in the mirror and be like, ew.
Yep.
I wouldn't want me either.
And
that was an awful thing to say to myself. And when I think about it now, so I can cry over it really easily, because I'm like, how dare you talk to yourself like that? How dare you say you don't like this? How dare you? And you want so many people to see how beautiful you are, to see how loving you are, and yet you can't even give it to yourself. And so for me, that's where the self-love really came in. And I said, Casey, you gotta learn how to love yourself, and learning how to love yourself means to confront the parts of yourself that aren't so good, and good in the sense of it just, you mask it. The ugly parts of you that you don't want anybody to see, you mask it, right? You're like, no, I'm all this, I'm all that. And we all have ugly sides to us. But I think you have to love those ugly sides. And that's really what loving yourself is learning to accept the parts of you that have come with you,
right,
from all the pain, and say, I love that version of me too.
And that's so hard. That's like, you want to love all the pretty stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to love the ugly stuff.
Yeah.
And as you were speaking, a question, we always have a question, as you guys know, on the Karen Carrington Show. We try to answer all your questions. This is a community show. We want to be able to answer any confusion you may be having in your relationships. And Casey, as the transformational coach, is here for you. So we've got Kelly from Boston. Says her fiance of 4 years, they broke up due to my 60-pound weight gain during the pandemic. Karen, I'm not able to love myself or get my self-worth back. Not sure how to go about it. Okay, so hold on. That's Kelly from Boston. Her ex left her 4 years, gained 60 pounds in the pandemic. Not sure how to get her self-worth back. Casey, any suggestions for Kelly?
So what I would say, because I had gained some weight too. I think we all did. Look, I would say, and I know people say this, they say, love your size, love no matter what you look like, all that. And it's true. But I don't think, and again, this is coming from me, I don't think it's necessarily about the weight, and it's easy to blame the weight for the reason why, the man is gone. And so I think he broke up and then she gained the weight, right? Is that correct?
Right.
And so, the whole eating your feelings and all of that. And I think really it's about you going on the journey to say, am I masking? And we talked about this literally just a couple of minutes ago. Am I masking my pain with eating or any other form of addiction? And then saying that my self-worth is tied to not being able to do those things, if that makes sense. So let me clarify it a little bit. If you've now gained all this weight as a result of somebody leaving you, and you say you don't know how to get your self-worth back as a result of that, I would say this is why that inward healing is so important, to ask yourself. It's not about the eating. I really don't think it's about the weight. The weight has nothing to do with it. That's an excuse sometimes that we say to ourselves and that we give ourselves. But I would say, if you really want to understand how to get your self-worth back, I want you to look at the reasons as to why it didn't work from your perspective. And that's about being honest with yourself. And I just want to say this one last thing. Rejection is redirection.
Say that again.
Rejection is redirection.
Yeah.
I think if I had to just, because it's hard for me to sit here and just kind of tell you how to get your self-worth and your self-love back, because it's not something that you can quick fix like that. So it's understanding when we're rejected to look at it as redirection and say, okay, how do I sit with that rejection? How do I go deep with it? How do I understand that this is trying to teach me something, and am I willing to go there in order to be redirected? Or am I going to go down the same path all over again and have it happen over and over and over and over again? Are you ready to get redirected, or are you
I think we're all ready
all over again?
I think a lot of us, I think you nailed it. I know you nailed it. And that's why I love you. You always nail it. You're right. A lot of us need redirection. There's been so much going on lately over the last how long? And we're ready. People are ready for redirection. Redirection. No more pivoting.
No.
Yeah. Redirection.
Yeah.
Casey, that's why I love you. You always have like this wealth of knowledge. You're an expert in your field. You're just walking cloud of love. I just love you. The audience loves you. Your clients love you. You're a breath of fresh air that the world needs right now. I'm so glad that you're in my life. That's for sure. I love that we're doing this entire season 9 together, because I really, truly believe that this is the time where change and redirection is really, really needed. So thank you so much for being here today. But I know we'll be back again for the next episode of more Casey and Casey. So guys, as you all know, in the Karen Carrington Show, I always like to end off with an affirmation from my book. But before I do that, I just want to thank you so much for being here with me through all these seasons and being here with us through season 9. Your love and support is greatly appreciated. I just want to make sure and put that out there, how much I really love you guys. I appreciate you. I mean, gratitude. So we talked about a lot on this episode, and I want to pick an affirmation from my book. Thank you to all of you who got it. It is a fresh start. It is available on Amazon. It is $20, or you can contact me. My website will be here on this video. So let's pick one for 1 second for this episode. Let me see. Here we are. This one comes from number 7. Today is a new day. God is a God of second chances. Today is a fresh start. Powerful changes are happening. I welcome and embrace them. I'm going to repeat that one. I'm actually going to repeat a portion of that. God is a God of second chances. Today, we talked about some of us wanting to not be here anymore, live life. Don't think that we're worthy to be here, or that we're worthy to be on this planet, or that we aren't lovable. Some of us have contemplated suicide, but you're here today for a reason. Because as the affirmation said, God is a God of second chances. You have that second chance to live for today. Today is a fresh start to do something new. You are a gift. You are meant to be here. So be that woman or man that God has designed you to be. So that is it for the Karen Carrington Show. I just want to thank all of you. I want to thank all of my sponsors. I want to thank my guest, Casey, my soul sister. Thank you so much. So we'll see you on the next episode. Same time, same place, same positive vibes. Love you.